I enjoyed. I actually made a living. I made it a career to sit back and complain about how I'm starving to death. And you're the asshole who just told me that I can actually walk to the refrigerator and get some food. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? I done got comfortable in the bed. You know what I mean? Like I like the victim box. There's benefits to this, and it's almost like like when you see those homeless people who are like, man, I don't really want you to give me a job. Like you offer them a job or some food or something. Like, no, I want money, and I want to be able to sit on the corner and ask you for money, right? Not to say everybody's in that category, but y'all seen that before. How do you feel about that? It almost seems like we live in a world where we are just addicted to the problem. And that when you present the solution, you're seen as dangerous, or oh you're too serious, or that kind of thing. Let's go do some TikTok dances so we can dance about the problem as opposed to actually solving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the oppression Olympics is real. I feel like not only us. I mean, it's if you look across the board, like every race, that everybody says that they're oppressed and they have problems and stuff like that. I think one of the things that motivated me as well with this film, I intentionally made it a solutions based documentary. Like, so when you see this film, there are no more excuses. Like and I'm not saying like these solutions are the end all be all, but they're a starting point. It's to get the conversation going. So yeah, I feel like we got to improve, and it is. I mean, it's easy being lazy. It's very easy being lazy and just blaming everything on a particular enemy or whatnot. But
Mm-hmm.
and we do have enemies. Let's just not negate that. But it's all about solutions. Like, how do we want to move forward in this world? Because I feel like as a human race, we should be way more advanced than we are now. Like, there should be
Mm-hmm.
no more cancer. There should be no more hunger on this earth. But of course, it is. So how do we fix that? Because I don't want my child, my little boy is 5 years old. I don't want him growing up. I don't want his kid to be growing up in the same world that we're growing up in right now.
Yeah, yeah. I think that it's the film was powerful, courageous. I think it's an important sort of movie. And it's one of those things that one of the things that was interesting too. I want to shift gears just a little bit and ask you about just the film industry. It's funny, like it's amazing. It's amazing how much stuff you can shove into your brain just while you're exercising, on a Monday morning. Because another thing I was listening to today was a discussion. The Wall Street Journal had a panel discussion with two directors that run Imagine Entertainment. One was Ron Howard, who played Opie on Andy Griffith and made a lot of really good movies after that. And then his partner, I don't remember his partner's name, and they were talking about adapting. Like how did they maintain their partnership through all the years, and also how are they adapting to all the changes in the film industry, and they've been through several disruptions. They could go all the way back to when DVDs came along and when cable came along. And they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Now people have DVDs and they can watch cable. No one will ever watch a movie in the theater again. And then you moved into the internet, and then you moved into streaming, and you move into piracy, and now you got AI. What's the conversation now amongst you and other filmmakers in terms of dealing with what AI is doing? Because I saw Google VO3. I mess around with it sometimes, and I mean the quality of the filmmaking, the quality of the cinematography is extremely good. How does that make you feel as a filmmaker?
Listen, AI is scaring the shit out of everybody. To be honest, like it is scary. It is scary. However, I feel like you can use we're trying to figure out ways to actually incorporate AI into like just a tool bag. So for instance, like when it comes to editing, now they have like AI implemented in our editing software right now. So it makes editing easier and more time, just it eliminates a lot of the time that you spend just doing like random stuff. You could just, focus in. So editing wise, AI is like a tool. Let me tell you who is really affected. It is affecting the film industry because eventually a lot of these films are just going to be AI. Instead of hiring like a big crew, like 100-person crew and stuff like that, you would just need like three people.